What up, you guys? I am about to go to a local coffee shop, and I'm actually not going to get coffee today because I've already had like 220 milligrams of caffeine this morning. So I don't want to get coffee again, but I will get a Red Bull. So today's video is going to primarily be about the camera gear that I use, both to film these type of videos, but also the camera gear that I use to shoot this stuff that I post on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all that stuff. I'm going to take a ride. I'll probably find a parking spot in the shade at the coffee shop, and then we'll go through my bag, and I'll just show you which bag that I'm using, as well as the camera gear that I have, how I carry that camera gear, and just show you the overall setup to see if it's something that you want to get into. Yeah, so let's get on the road. It's a beautiful day outside. I can't tell if it's going to rain or not. The weather keeps kind of fluctuating a little bit. Sometimes it's really overcast, sometimes the sun comes out. You guys ever think about passion? I think about passion quite a bit. How we need to be committing to our passions for their own sake and not what those passions can get us. I feel like in today's world, a lot of people commit to their passions because we live in a pretty interesting time where you can make money off of almost anything. Like, if you're passionate about something, you can pretty much make a TikTok account about it and eventually monetize it, make money off of it. But people doing that so often end up kind of sabotaging themselves because they experience burnout really early on with something that they really used to love. And I think that that's to our detriment. Like, if you really actually enjoy something, even if you're making content out of it, I feel like you should be just doing it for the sake of it and not for the actual content that you're making, right? Gary Vee, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's famously said, document, don't create, when it comes to creating content for social media. And I think that that's because Gary knew, like, hey, if you have your mind on creating, then that's going to actually negatively affect your content in terms of whether or not it's real. Whereas if you're documenting, you're behaving the way that you normally would, you're doing the thing that you normally would, and you just so happen to be recording it. And that's my philosophy with this channel. You know, this is probably the one place where I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. With this channel, the goal is just to be myself. And funny enough, sometimes my stuff gets way more engagement because I'm not really trying to front or to act like I'm something I'm not or anything like that. That's just something to keep in mind. Look at all these birds. Let's go, birds. Okay, I am here at the coffee shop. I am gonna try and find a place that's kind of in the shade if I can. This looks good. So I'm gonna come all the way back to the curb. There we go. Oh, man, what a beautiful day. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through some gear. I am currently using this bag. It's the Kriega, I think it's a Kriega Max 28 or 25. I don't remember exactly the model of this bag, but I'll put it in the description. but it's a bag that has kind of a flap over it, and it features a waterproof compartment for like a MacBook Pro, a 15-inch laptop. I have a 16-inch laptop, and it actually fits in this bag really, really well. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the bag so I can show you like the various features that it has. So again, it's got this kind of buckle over flap design. I really like that because this part, I think it's water resistant or waterproof, I'm not sure, and it just protects like the seams that are on top of the bag, and it kind of makes you a little bit more aerodynamic while you're on the highway so that it's not catching like all of the stuff underneath it. But I want to show you some of the features of it. I'm just going to open up the bag here. So right here on top of the bag is the laptop compartment. So it's just a kind of a roll top type of design, and again, like that's where my laptop is. It's a 16-inch laptop in there, and that's where I keep it. One problem I do run into with this bag is that the stuff in the bag, if it's packed, if it's packed, then when you lift up the laptop, the things that are inside the bag sometimes tilt forward where the laptop was, and then it makes it hard to put the laptop back in. But that's pretty rare. So, and again, this is just a roll top, so you can kind of just roll it back into place, and then it's got buckles on the side to keep that secured in place where it's supposed to be, just like that. At the very front of the bag, you have like a little maintenance pocket. I don't know what you would call it, but you can put like various things that you want in here. I actually have my batteries. I have 4 batteries for my Sony camera in there. I have in here my MacBook Pro charger, my solid state drive that I store my media on, just a tire checker. I have a screwdriver here, a flathead screwdriver to adjust my suspension if I need to, a pin, and then in this pocket, I just have some, actually I don't have anything in there right now. And then I throw like used batteries back here if they're dead. But yeah, that's this part of the pocket. You have some storage right there. You have storage here, and then storage behind this for whatever you want to use it for. One thing I will point out is anything outside of this roll top compartment for the laptop is not fully waterproof. So the only part that's fully waterproof is this roll top part, and then everything else is just water resistant. I don't know how resistant, but I just wanted to say that. Inside of the bag itself, this is where you have like your actual compartment. So in here, the only things that I carry are a hat to wear when I don't have my helmet on. I carry a Peak Design travel tripod. So that just comes in a little case. So if you open this up, there's a tripod inside. And then I carry a camera cube that carries one camera and some of the other various things that I use on a daily basis when I'm photographing stuff for the JZB Moto channels or filming stuff like what I'm filming right now. So I'll show you this camera cube because it's actually pretty neat. It's from a company called Wandered, and that's spelled really, really weird. So I'll put it in the description. But they sell various camera bags, camera accessories. Again, the bag is from Kriega, but this camera cube is from Wandered. And I like it because whenever I reach into my bag, I can just unzip this top section here, and then I can pull my camera out. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to open up the whole thing so that I can show you guys what I'm carrying on a daily basis. Normally, I carry my DJI Action 4 camera, but that's currently on my helmet. That's currently on my helmet right now. And then I also carry DJI Mic 3s that I use to directly connect to the Action 4. And then inside of my helmet, I have a magnet kind of like glued into the helmet. And then I can essentially connect these mics to that magnet whenever I want to. So you see the one that's missing is actually inside of my helmet right now, and that's what I'm recording this audio on. And again, this bag is really intended to make content on the bike, and so I really only carry very little equipment. And then here I have more batteries for the Action 4 that's on my helmet. Now this is the mother, the beast. This is my main camera. This is a Sony A1 Mark II. This is what I use for all of my photo and video stuff that's not on this DJI Action 4. So here in a minute, I might actually set up a tripod because I want to take a photo of this backpack on my back while I'm sitting on the bike. So I'll probably just set up my tripod here in the grass in a minute and take a photo, and then I'll later post that on social media, probably talking about this video, I don't know, but that's actually how I do all of that, is with this camera. And then if I take this camera out, so I have a little piece right here that screws on, and then that directly interfaces with the top of this Peak Design tripod. And then I have a cage on it from Small Rig, and I always put a cage on there just because, you know, it makes the camera a little bit more robust, and I'm on a motorcycle, so if I were to ever fall or something, I like to know that it's got at least some kind of exoskeleton around it. But yeah, so that's my setup. I think I'm gonna go ahead and set up my tripod and take some photos of this backpack actually on my back. So I'm gonna pack this back up, and then I'm gonna take some of those photos. So now that this is closed, it's a good opportunity to show you how I actually grab my gear. So I can just reach in here, pull that out, take the lens cap off, and then this just directly snaps on here. Make sure to unlock it, snaps into place, and then I'll turn the camera on just to get everything balanced. I think I'm going to shoot this on f2.8 actually. It's in video mode, so that's why it looks all gray. Put it in photo mode. Can just kind of frame up the shot that I want. So I'm actually going to stick this a little bit higher. And then now you might be wondering, well, how do you actually take the freaking picture? There's one area of the bag that I didn't show you, and that's this back flap area. So here's where I put easy to grab essentials. So this goes like deep in that way and then in the back. So I have this little remote that I can use to connect to my camera via Bluetooth. And now it's connected. So now I can go to the back of the camera, press this button, and it takes photos whenever I want to. Now that that's on, I have to make all of this look presentable, like I'm actually wearing the dang thing. So I'm going to pack up my bag and make it look like it's just a normal day. I find making photos look more lifestyle, the better that they perform, you know? People want to see real shit. People doing real things in life, not fake stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a few seconds ago, there was no sun, and now there's sun, which means the exposure of this shot may have changed. And as you can see, it's blinking right there, +2, which is like no bueno. So, gotta increase my shutter speed here a little bit, just to reduce some of that. And there we go. That should be fine. Here I am on the bike, just chilling in the parking lot, and I'm just clicking this to shoot photos. Put my visor down for a second, get a good shot like that. Yeah, these will work. I really only know sometimes how photos are going to look once they're actually edited. I try not to judge how they look when they're raw. Like if I zoom in here, everything looks in focus. Bag looks good. There's an area on the front of my bag that is also a feature of the bag, and it's like Kurika's entire thing is that they have this proprietary locking mechanism on the front of their packs that I want to get on camera. That looks good. I don't know if you can tell on my screen, but there's like some wavy lines on it. So that just means that those areas of the image are overexposed. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. We really want to expose for the bike, because that's what we actually need to be editing. But I like to underexpose the main subjects of my image to keep the highlights in the brighter parts of the image. That way, whenever you're editing it, you have a bunch of data that you can actually edit. Now that that's done, I have another shot in mind that I kind of have to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to adjust these tripod legs to shorten this just a bit, actually quite a bit. And the cool thing about this locking mechanism on this tripod is it's really reliable, so it's not going anywhere once it's actually locked in place. So for this one, I am gonna overexpose this image, primarily because I want to make sure, well, I'm not going to overexpose it completely, but I just want more data on me this time. So I'm going to set that right there so that I know, okay, if I'm standing right there on the bike or behind the bike, then I'll likely be in focus. So one cool thing that I like to do with photos is I just like to move around. And whether I'm in front of the camera or if I'm directing a model, I like to be moving around, doing different things, looking around. This way you have multiple options and it looks way more realistic as far as lifestyle goes. And again, people want to see real stuff. They want to see real life happening. If you pose too much, you can kind of tell that you're posing. As much as possible, you want to make real shit. That's going to perform the best. And it's actually way less pressure just being real instead of posing, trying to be something you're not. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with fake stuff. Cool. And that's a wrap. Okay, now that we've got all this recorded, I'm going to go to that coffee shop over there, Spotted Deer Coffee Company, and I'm going to edit the various things that I need to be working on. I will catch you guys in a minute after I've had my coffee, my pastry, and I'll dump some of this footage, and then I will head back home. On the road again. Wow, look at that sky, guys. I love riding home at this hour. During golden hour. It's nice and beautiful outside. Golden light. Man, it's so beautiful outside right now. But yeah, guys, I had a question the other day asking me about how I take the photos that I take. It was actually in person too. It wasn't like a DM or anything. I was showing somebody at a local restaurant some of the photos that I had taken and posted on my profile, and they were like, "Oh, who takes your photos?" And I was like, "Oh, it's me." And they're like, "Well, how are you doing that if you're in them?" And I explained I carry a tripod with me everywhere I go, and have a little remote to take the photos themselves. And they were like, "Oh, it's dope." So yeah, I thought it would be an interesting video to show how I did this stuff, how I shoot my content, and how to do all that stuff. So I hope it was valuable to you, and I hope it encourages you to get out there and create something, even if you're not a biker. I think it's cool when people openly create things that are important to them, no matter what it is. And I'm still gaining confidence in that area. Something that I admire a lot about the creators in the biker community are the fact that they're completely cool with just rolling up to a public space and whipping out their cameras and creating some content. And I think that that's really cool. I think it takes a lot of confidence to do, and that's something that I'm really excited to continue to build while I'm doing this. Is just confidence to create in public, which is not something that I'm used to. I'm usually the guy behind the camera, but now I get to make content in front of the camera, which is really fun and really exciting. I'm thankful to be in a position to start building up this content confidence. It's actually a really exciting time and a really exciting thing to be doing. And yeah, I really admire the people who have that confidence to just come out in public and create things that matter to them. So I want to encourage some of you, if you're on the fence about getting out there and creating content, whether you're a biker or like someone else in like a whole different genre of things, get out there and do it, man. Like I initially thought that people were going to judge me, and like people were going to be like, oh, why is that guy creating content? He's getting in the way, or he's being awkward. And that's like the opposite of what I've actually experienced so far. So many people have like stopped me during shoots that I've done in public, and they've been like, hey man, cool bike. Like, I think it's so cool that you're taking photos and doing stuff. And these people aren't even bikers that are telling me this. A lot of times, like, you think that you're going to be judged, but you're probably not. Yeah, a lot of times you think that people are going to judge you, but they're probably going to think what you're doing is pretty cool, so long as you're passionate about what you're doing. You know, I heard somewhere, and I don't remember where I heard it, I heard somewhere that, like, you know, people may not need to believe in what you believe in, but they need to believe that you believe it. And that goes a long way. So yeah, if you're on the fence about creating something, I say get out there and do it. And now I do want to make a little disclaimer here. You might get judged by some people, but honestly, man, anybody who would judge you for doing the things that you enjoy, those people probably aren't going very far. And what they're doing when they're judging you and hating on you is they're projecting, because they want to limit you because they themselves are limited. That's something to keep in mind, is that if you actually want to make something cool, if you want to do something cool with your life or do something amazing in it, you got to be okay with being judged. You got to be okay with even being cringy, right? Like, I was making content the other day and someone was like, that's cringe. And I was like, you know what? The pathway to badass is paved with cringe. You got to be willing to be cringy to make something cool. And so anybody who's willing to be badass and to make something cool and eventually be the type of person that creates content they're proud of and has millions of followers and blah blah blah, these are people that are okay with being cringy. If you want to build something cool, especially online with a bunch of people watching, be okay with being cringe. But yeah, anyways guys, I appreciate all of you for watching my video once again. Let me know what you're gonna do this week as far as creating something goes. I hope you get out there and make something, and if you do, comment what you made and send me a link to it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna head home.